truth is, a lot of men are missing a huge piece of the puzzle when it comes to attraction. They're listening to a woman's words, but they're completely oblivious to the secret code she's broadcasting with her body. While verbal communication is definitely important, women often communicate their genuine interest through a complex system of non-verbal signals. Our bodies tend to speak more honestly than our mouths, sending out subconscious signals we don't even realize we're making. Learning to decode these signals is what separates building real attraction from going home confused and alone. This isn't about mind games, it's about understanding a deeper, more honest channel of communication. And today, we're going to break the code. One of the first mistakes many men make is taking a woman's words at 100% face value. You might operate on a logical, direct level. If you want something, you say it. If you're interested, you show it, and you expect the same in return. But that's not always how the language of attraction works. And it's not because women are being dishonest. It's often about emotional self-protection. Think about it from her perspective. Being totally direct about her interest can be a high-risk gamble. If she says, "I'm very attracted to you," and you don't feel the same, she's facing direct rejection, which is never fun. Or worse, if she reveals her interest too early to the wrong guy, someone who might be manipulative or just looking for one thing, she puts herself in a vulnerable spot. So many women have become adept at a more sophisticated method of communication that operates just beneath the surface of polite conversation. This is the world of sub-communication. While you're talking about your job and she's talking about her favorite travel spot, another conversation is happening. It's a conversation told through eye contact, physical space, and subtle gestures. Body language uses physical behavior and expressions to communicate non-verbally, and it's often more instinctive than conscious. It's like a spy movie. The verbal conversation is the cover story that keeps things safe and comfortable. But the real intelligence, the info that actually determines if she'll see you again, is being passed through these coded signals. Many men are completely unaware of this second channel. They leave a date thinking it went great because the verbal chat was smooth. Then they're shocked when she ghosts, never realizing that the sub-communicated conversation was a complete disaster. To succeed, you have to stop only listening to the words and start observing the code. The most fundamental layer of this code is pure body language. These are the physical signals that reveal her inner state of mind, often without her even knowing it. Mastering these will give you an instant read on her true feelings. The single most powerful signal often comes from her eyes. We're all told to make eye contact, but that's beginner-level advice. What you're looking for is lingering eye contact. Normal, polite conversation involves looking at someone for a few seconds, then glancing away. It's friendly, it's comfortable, it's platonic. Lingering eye contact is different. It's when she holds your gaze for a second or two longer than what feels normal, especially during a pause in the chat. That extra beat creates a palpable tension and electrical charge. It's a non-verbal invitation that says, "I see you and I'm not looking away." Often this is paired with other micro-expressions. Her pupils might dilate or her lips might part slightly, subconscious signs of arousal and attraction. On the flip side, if she's constantly looking around the room or her eyes seem glazed over, it doesn't matter how politely she's smiling. She's not engaged. The second channel is touch. Women often use subtle, sometimes accidental, touch to test the waters of physical chemistry. When a woman is interested, she'll often find ways to initiate physical contact. This might be a light graze of her hand on your arm as she's making a point, a playful tap on your shoulder when she laughs, or her leg accidentally brushing against yours. The key here is context and repetition. A single touch might be an accident, but if it happens a few times, it's likely a message. She's breaking the physical barrier between you to see how you respond. Does you flinch? Do you freeze up? Or do you receive it calmly? A woman who isn't interested will maintain her physical space. If you touch her arm and she subtly pulls away, that's a massive signal of disinterest. While repeated touches are a strong indicator of her comfort, always be mindful of the context. Misreading these cues can lead to making someone uncomfortable. The third channel is her body orientation. Just like a compass needle points north, a person's body generally points toward their interest. If you're sitting at a table, are her feet and torso angled toward you? Is she leaning in slightly when you speak? This is open, engaged body language. It signals comfort and a desire to connect. On the other hand, if her body is angled away, her arms are crossed tightly, or she's leaning back, she's building a non-verbal wall. Pay special attention to her feet. They're often the most honest part of the body, because we're least conscious of them. If her feet are pointed toward the exit, it's a strong subconscious sign she wants to leave, even if her face is smiling at you. A woman who is attracted will have open posture and orient her body towards you, as if you're the only person in the room. Once you get the physical signals, the next level is understanding when a woman is deliberately creating moments of tension. This is a higher level move that many guys misinterpret as a bad sign, when it's often the exact opposite. A boring date feels like a job interview. A woman who is attracted to you will often try to break that monotonous rhythm by manufacturing small moments of tension. This isn't about starting a fight. It's about creating an emotional spike. One of the most common ways she does this is through playful teasing or light challenges. She might question a story you told or give you a hard time about your drink choice. For example, "Oh, you think you're a good dancer? I'm going to need to see some proof of that." A common mistake is to get defensive and try to logically justify yourself. "Well, I took lessons for 3 years and..." That completely misses the point. The challenge isn't real. She's testing your confidence and playfulness. The right response is to lean into the tension and amplify it. You smile, look her in the eye, and say, "Is that a challenge? Be careful. You might not be able to handle my moves." You've just turned a potential conflict into flirtatious banter. You passed the test. Another way she creates tension is with the lingering pause. The conversation hits a natural stop, but instead of rushing to fill the silence, she just holds your gaze and waits. It might only last a few seconds, but it can feel like an eternity. That silence is a vacuum, and she's waiting for you to fill it by taking the lead. This is often the moment to reach out and touch her hand, to lean in closer, or to go for the kiss. The guy who panics and fills the silence with more chatter has just failed a massive test. If you're starting to see how much you've been missing, how this secret language has been flying under your radar, then do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. because we've only scratched the surface. Now, we're about to go even deeper into the psychological side of the code. Beyond body language, women often use a series of subtle, often subconscious psychological tests to vet a man's character. This isn't a conscious manipulative checklist. It's more of an intuitive filtering process designed to answer one key question. Are you a strong, confident, emotionally stable man? Failing these tests is an instant attraction killer. Confidence is the bedrock of attraction, and women have an almost supernatural radar for it. A common method is a slightly backhanded compliment. She might say something like, "That's in an interesting shirt," or "You're funnier than you look." A man with fragile confidence will get defensive. "What's wrong with my shirt?" This is an instant fail. You've just shown her that a tiny comment is enough to throw you off balance. A confident man, on the other hand, is unbothered. He sees the comment for what it is, a little probe. He might smile and say, "Thanks, it gets people talking," or simply, "Glad you noticed." By refusing to get rattled, you demonstrate immense emotional strength. You've shown her that your frame is stronger than hers, which is an incredibly attractive trait. Women aren't attracted to echoes. They want a man with his own opinions and values. To test this, a woman might state a strong or controversial opinion to see how you react. She might say, "I think her political belief is ridiculous," or "I can't stand people who listen to Y genre of music." The trap is to immediately agree with her just to build rapport. This signals you're a people pleaser without a strong internal compass. She isn't testing if you have the same opinion, she's testing if you have an opinion. The right way to pass is to respectfully and honestly state your view. If you disagree, you can say, "That's interesting you see it that way. I've always felt that." You're not starting a fight. You're demonstrating that you're your own man and won't just bend to her will to get approval. That kind of authenticity is rare and magnetic. This is a classic. She might casually mention an ex, talk about a guy at work who's hitting on her, or even flirt lightly with the waiter. The purpose is to gauge your emotional security. Are you the jealous, possessive type, or are you secure in your own value? The insecure man fails this spectacularly. He gets visibly upset or withdrawn. Why are you talking about your ex? Are you not over him? He has just revealed a massive insecurity. The confident man, however, is unfazed. He's not threatened by phantom competition. When she mentions another man, he might respond with a playful, unbothered comment like, "Well, the man clearly has good taste," or he might just ignore it and steer the conversation back to the two of you. By not reacting, you communicate that you're so secure in yourself that other men are irrelevant. A woman needs to know the man she's with has self-respect. To test this, she might push your boundaries to see if you'll hold firm. She might cancel a date at the last minute with a flimsy excuse. She might be consistently late. The man with weak boundaries lets it all slide because he's afraid of losing her. This signals low self-worth. A man with strong boundaries addresses the issue calmly and firmly. If she cancels last minute, he might say, "No problem, things come up. Let me know when you figure out your schedule and we can try to set something up." He's not angry, but he's also not chasing. He has put the ball in her court, showing his time is valuable. By enforcing your boundaries, you're not being a jerk, you're teaching her how to treat you and showing you're a high-value man who respects himself. So what's the one secret signal? The truth is, there isn't one. The secret isn't a single word or a gesture. It's a pattern. It's the combination of all these channels flowing together to paint a clear picture of her interest. It's when the lingering eye contact from across the table is followed by a light, accidental brush of her hand on your arm. It's when that touch is followed by a playful challenge, which you pass with amused confidence. It's when that confident response leads to a moment of comfortable, electric silence where she just looks at you, waiting. It is a cascading sequence of green lights. The man who can't read the code sees each event in isolation. He might see the eye contact, but be too scared to act. He might face a confidence test and get defensive, short-circuiting the whole interaction. The man who understands the code sees the pattern. He sees the eye contact as an invitation, the touch as a confirmation, the test as an opportunity, and the silence as a call to action. Understanding this isn't about becoming a robot who analyzes behavior. It's about becoming more attuned and present. It's about listening to the entire conversation, not just the part spoken with words. It's about recognizing that our bodies often speak more honestly than our mouths. When you learn to listen to that language, you stop guessing and you start knowing. You've been trying to win the game by only reading half the rulebook. You've been focused on the surface-level conversation, while the real game of attraction was being played on a completely different field. You've been leaving dates confused, wondering what went wrong, when the answers were right there in front of you, in a code you just didn't know how to read. The code is her body language. The code is in her psychological tests. It's not malicious. It's a deeply ingrained and honest form of communication. It is the language of genuine attraction. Your goal isn't to become a mind reader. It's to become a man who is present, observant, and calibrated enough to see the green lights she's giving and act on them with confidence. A man who understands that her words might be polite, but her body language is telling the truth. The code is there. Now you know how to read it. Drop a comment below with the most confusing signal you've ever gotten on a date. Let's try to decode it together. And if you're ready to finally stop guessing, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell.